is taking steps to keep Russia and other groups from meddling with European Union elections in May. It plans on introducing extra checks and will publish more information around political ads in Europe. Last month, the EU warned tech companies to step up efforts to combat disinformation or face regulation. To discuss, Bloomberg Tech Sarah Fryer with me here. So what exactly is Twitter doing differently here?
Twitter is going to do what it rolled out in the U.S. last year, which is a little bit of a more transparent archive for political ads. Now, in the U.S., this is something that Facebook and Google have already done with mixed results. There's some lack of transparency in terms of the verification process. People get verified as political advertisers even though they aren't. But at least it's a step in the right direction. What Twitter's doing is basically what the Honest Ads Act, I don't know if you remember, but that was one of the big proposals by Congress people this year to get there to be a similar level of transparency in digital ads as there are in ads for TV and radio.
So how is this different from what Twitter has done in the past?
Well, they're expanding it. I mean, it's the same as what they've done in the United States, but now they've expanded it to the UK. Facebook has been rolling this out around the world ahead of various elections. They say they'll have it worldwide in the summer. So it looks like there's going to be a standard across Facebook, Google, and Twitter for political ads going forward pretty broadly.
So talk to us a little bit more about where Facebook stands.
Facebook, the UK especially, is in trouble. We have seen a lot of talk from regulators, especially the Digital Energy and Commerce Committee in the UK, saying that Facebook has been acting like like it has no regard for the law, like they're trying to do what with people's privacy, things that extend way beyond their expectations. There was a major report that came out over the weekend that called them digital gangsters. So there's some serious reckoning happening there. And then you also have a possible fine coming from the FTC that could run into the billions. You have German regulators cracking down as well. Facebook's in regulatory hot water around the world, and moves like this on the part of Facebook, on the part of Google, and on the part of Twitter can really help them stave off even more criticism than what they're already getting.
I want to ask you about a Facebook story we mentioned earlier, which is a consumer complaint about being overexposed in Facebook groups. Now, Congress is inquiring about this directly to Mark Zuckerberg. What can you tell us about this?
There was a letter that came out today from the Congressional Committee, the same one that interrogated Mark Zuckerberg in April, asking why it was that people were joining these private Facebook groups to discuss their very personal medical conditions, and then having that information be used by Facebook and its advertising algorithm to allow advertisers to target those people based on their medical conditions. So that's a huge breach of what people expect Facebook to be collecting from them in those groups. And it goes to what I was arguing a couple weeks ago, that, you know, we think about privacy in terms of Facebook giving information to others, but what we really need to be thinking about is the information that Facebook itself collects about us and the ways we do it that are sort of beyond what we would expect. In a private group, you expect that Facebook isn't really keeping track of the fact that you're talking about a very private disease.
Right. There's a difference between what people expect and what Facebook actually does, and what Facebook may tell you in some long and confusing terms of service that it does.
Right.
Is this something that is okay according to Facebook's terms of service?
Well, they're tracking all your activity on Facebook. You know, even if you scroll through your feed and spend a little bit more time on one post than you do in a different post, even if you don't click a like on it, even if you don't share it, they're still looking at your behavior and trying to glean information from it in their algorithm. So I think that it does really go beyond what people expect. Facebook they have the ability to follow you around websites that they don't own, apps that they don't own. And so all of this serves to enhance their advertising algorithm. And some of it may not be necessarily Facebook employees knowing these things about you, but certainly it feeds into the system that then can target you with an ad that serves medicine based on that group that you joined.
What does Congress want to know from Mark Zuckerberg?
Well, they're demanding a hearing. They want Facebook to come and explain what happened here and how this worked and whether that problem has been closed, whether that loophole's been closed. And so we haven't heard a response from Facebook on this today, but it's just another example of this drumbeat that we're going to continue to hear this year of regulators calling out Facebook for going beyond consumer expectations and how they administer their product.